Hey everyone, Bill Lethman here for MoneyEvolution.com. In today's video blog, I wanted to do a follow-up to some videos that I recorded last week talking all about annuities. One of those videos I recorded last week, I was talking about billionaire investor and head of Fisher Investments, Ken Fisher. And specifically, I called him out on some advertising that he's been running where he's been basically talking very negatively about annuities and saying how he would never sell an annuity, and he basically thinks they're one of the worst investments on the planet. So I wanted to make this video specifically for any of you out there that may already own an annuity, and maybe it's been a while since you bought it, and maybe you haven't really looked at it in a while. You don't really understand or remember why you bought that annuity in the first place. And before you become very quick to cash out of that annuity based on one of these advertisements or maybe somebody else that's trying to talk you out of the annuity, I want you to kind of revisit that annuity and go through a couple of items here that I have on a checklist. First item on the checklist is really to go back and remember why you bought that annuity in the first place. And hopefully this is something that'll start to come back to you as you maybe go back through, if you kept any of the original literature about the annuity, or you go back to your original contract. And you might have bought it for some of the protections the annuity offered. Maybe there was some protections for principal, like in the case of fixed annuities or fixed indexed annuities. Maybe it was for some of the income benefits that they could provide for you down the road, or future guaranteed withdrawal benefits. And that was a way that you were going to plan on supplementing some of your retirement income. But go back and try to remember why it is that you bought that annuity. And if you still have a relationship or contact with the person that sold you the annuity, wouldn't be a bad idea, actually be a great idea, to go back to that person and revisit the annuity with them and have them kind of re-explain the annuity to you as well, and hopefully refresh your mind on some of that stuff. But a couple things you might do as part of that review is you might look at how that annuity that you own right now, and some of those guarantees and protections that maybe you bought the annuity for in the first place, does that still fit within your overall retirement plans and your goals? Is it still something that's in line with your financial direction that you have right now? You also might want to take a look at how that annuity compares with maybe other investments or even other annuities that may be in the marketplace right now. A lot has been changing in the annuity world here over the last 5 or 10 years, and things that were very good 5 or 10 years ago, sometimes there's things that are better right now, or sometimes things that you bought 5 or 10 years ago are still much better than maybe available right now, depending on where you bought that within the cycle here. But a few things here before you do anything with the annuity. I wanted to give you 4 options that you essentially have with that annuity that you own. Number one is obviously to keep the annuity. You could just hold on to it. If you went back and say, yeah, I remember why we bought it now, and it still fits in line with our goals and our objectives, certainly keeping the annuity may be the best option. You also may want to look and say, hey, you know what? Yeah, we bought this for an income feature or a withdrawal feature, and we haven't turned that on, and maybe it makes sense to do that. So you could go back and, by revisiting it, start taking advantage of a rider or a benefit that you've been paying for that maybe you forgot about. So turning on a feature to the annuity could be another option. If you decide possibly that maybe there's some other better annuities out there right now, you could do something that's referred to as a 1035 exchange, which allows you to essentially move money from one annuity to another without having to pay any taxes on any gains that are part of that annuity. Before you do that, though, a couple things you want to look at. Number one, we talked about this in the other video, are there any surrender penalties getting out of that old annuity? If there are, it's probably going to be pretty hard to justify paying those surrender penalties and moving the money to a new annuity. We also talked about it too. Is there any loss of living benefit or any loss of death benefit? So for example, you may have an annuity that maybe has a current account value of $100,000, but maybe has a living benefit or a death benefit that's much higher. Maybe it's at $130,000, and maybe that's something that could be paid out to your heirs if you pass away, or maybe you could turn on an income feature based off of that $130,000 living benefit balance, and it'd be very hard to justify giving that up just to swap it over into another annuity. And then finally, you want to look and see what features are you getting out of this new annuity that you're not getting out of the current annuity, and is it making sense to do that? Maybe it could be some lower cost, it could be another feature that maybe your current annuity doesn't have. So take a look at that, and also too, find out if your existing annuity can have those features added on. So sometimes you don't have to make a change to a new annuity just to add on a rider, some annuity companies will let you add that on after the fact. And then the final option that you have is to cash it out. And this would be probably the last thing. You could just get out of the annuity altogether, take the money, move it into another investment, do whatever you want with it. Keep in mind, though, if this money is held outside of an IRA account, you are going to have to pay taxes on any gains that are part of the annuity. And you also may have a penalty as well if you're taking that money out before you turn 59 and a half, because one of the things about annuities is they're meant to be long-term retirement investments. So taking that money out before 59 and a half, just like IRA money or potentially Roth IRA money, 401k money, that's going to potentially have a penalty on there. So anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you got some good information. Again, this video is part of a series that I'm doing all about annuities. Check that out. It should be up on our YouTube channel as part of a playlist. And while you're there, if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button. That way you'll be sure not to miss any of our videos. And with that, I'll sign off. Thanks. I'll see everyone back here in our next video. Have a great day.